Yo, how's it going guys? KPR here bringing you guys another video, and today I will be ranking all of the field equipment. There are a total of 11 field equipments, and I'll be ranking them from worst to best. And at number 11 we got Signaler. Now Signaler isn't really too good. It just basically gives away your location, pinging you on the map for the enemy team. You will also be noticing this on your minimap, and that's kind of how it will look like on the enemy's end as well, but of course it will be a red dot instead. Now this is more of a trolling device, and it does let you tap into enemy comms. You will also get extra points for murking enemies while using it. That's about the only useful thing it does. If you're trying to just tap into the enemy comms, you might as well just use Sleeper Agent since it does the same thing and you're also disguises them. Signaler, definitely not the best at all, not viable in almost any situation. I would say this is only like, for content creators, maybe just like using it to troll other people and stuff like that. But if you're just playing the game normally, you're not going to find a use in it at all. So this is definitely just the worst field equipment in Black Ops 6. Now on to number 10, my dudes, we got the Morphine Injector. Now, what this lets you do is, instead of taking lethal damage, you will instead go down and you will whip out your secondary. You can also be revived by teammates if you get the chance, but in most situations, you probably won't. The problem with the Morphine Injector is not because you go into last stand, it's because you not only whip out the secondary slowly, but you don't have any invincibility frames, so you can be murked practically right away. If you guys have played Kill Order, you will know that as the HVT, until you whip out your secondary, you will have invincibility frames, so you cannot be damaged at all. You could be thrown a tomahawk at as you're falling down. You will not be murked by that tomahawk as HVT. But with the Morphine Injector, that's not what happens. You could be murked as you're going down and even before you whip out your secondary, so you're not even going to have a chance to actually get up on your own. So you have to either be using this while camping or other things. It's just not really that good. And there have been at least 3 instances where I had the Morphine Injector, but I got spammed at 2 Semtexes or 2 frags. I forgot which one it was, but it was 2 lethals regardless, and I just died. I didn't even go down, I just died. And I was like, bro, my Morphine Injector was right there. Why did it not give it to me? So I'm just like, bro. And I've been using the Morphine Injector for quite a while, and I barely have any kills with it while down. So yeah, it's just not that good at all, not very practical. If they added invincibility frames to it, maybe it could be useful now. But until then, it's pretty ass so far. So yeah, also you will have 15 seconds until the Morphine Injector goes away. So you best push by that time or be a bit more risky with it. Either ways, I would not suggest many people to use this if you actually want to enjoy your time on COD a bit. I would say those are probably the 2 worst ones and practically not usable in most situations, but the rest of the field upgrades, you can use them whether you like them or not. From here on out, all of these field equipments, I think I said upgrades on accident, my fault y'all, but yeah, all of the field equipments from here on out, they're usable. It's up to you whether you want to use them or not, but the next one is very situational depending whether they're running vigilance or not. And with that being said, at number 9, we got Sleeper Agent. This is a pretty fun field equipment to use if you actually catch the people off guard, but like I mentioned, this is countered by the perk Vigilance, and it's pretty annoying because a bunch of people actually run that perk, and they run the Recon Specialty perk in general. So yeah, it's not going to be too fun if they're just running around with all those perks equipped, and you're not really going to be able to use this to its actual fun advantage. I do hope some buffs come its way because it takes so long to get. I'm pretty sure it's the longest one to actually get, and you will probably only get it once or twice in a 10-minute match, which is not good at all. Even with Gearhead, you're still barely pushing it by getting it 3 and maybe 4 times if you're just doing exponentially well. And I also hope that it just changes where you set it up already, like you bring up the passport and stuff like that, and you spawn actually on the enemy side. Now this could be broken, but it should just spawn you if whatnot in the middle and not actually in the enemy spawn, so it should be easier for you to mask in with them instead of coming from your own spawn using Sleeper Agent and they're just like, bro, wait, why is he running along the enemy team? Like, I know it's a Sleeper Agent now. And you are turned into the opposite operator as well. I don't think it's the one you have equipped. I'm pretty sure it's a random one. So yeah, sleeper agent, very situational. It is fun to use, and of course you also tap into the enemy comms. I don't know if it lets you chat with the enemies or not, like it does with when you make someone your body shield. I wasn't able to test this at all, and I actually couldn't really hear the enemies talk unless they just weren't talking at all. But I think it'd be pretty fun if you're able to do that, and that's why I'm assuming Signaler also lets you tap into those enemy comms, but probably doesn't work at all. Anyways, now that we're done with that, now we go on to number 8, which is the Spring Mine. This is basically like the Proximity Mine or the Bouncy Betty, and this is actually pretty good too, but I just think I've noticed this one much more often than almost any of the other field equipment, so I'm just like, it's way too noticeable. Granted, I do use the Strategist specialty, so I will be able to see it within, once I'm at that proximity, that I'm able to see all the field equipments or all the score streaks. The other problem is that if you go prone, if you notice it, like, you're able to react to it, you will be able to dodge the entire damage of it. Crouch, I'm pretty sure you're able to survive it, but I don't know. But the great thing about it is if you do catch the enemy off guard, even if they have flak jacket, they're not going to survive it. If they're able to survive it, this would definitely have been like number 10 or number 9, because it just would have been completely garbage. But thankfully, even if they have flak jacket, you're able to murk them. Anyone who says that's BS, like, dog, this is a field equipment, and it takes so long to get it, regardless of it being, this type of field equipment. Now, I should have probably said this at the beginning, but 8 and 7 are pretty interchangeable, but I myself actually prefer this one at number 7 since I see more use in it than I do with the Spring Mine. So at number 7, my dudes, we got the Neurogas. Now, this is a poison trap like they had in Cold War, except Cold Wars, it did more damage, but I don't think the effect was really there. For this one, there's a pretty big disorienting effect that you can see on your screen. It's pretty good, and I actually prefer this over the Spring Mine. Regardless of that though, both of them are pretty good, and it's truly just up to preference. I like this because I like the disorienting effect it has on it, and it lasts for a few seconds. Pretty sure it just lasts for 5 to 10 seconds, and you're able to get a kill with it if they stay in it long enough. If I recall correctly, you have to get at least 3 hit markers in order to actually murk them with the gas. Other than that, it's just going to give them a disorienting effect, and it's pretty good for holding down OBJs. I usually use this in domination or in hardpoint if I'm trying to cover one way, because it messes them up pretty badly. So if you're an OBJ player, I would suggest taking this along with a blast trap, because you're just going to be holding down points the entire time. Now at number 6, we got the assault pack. This is basically the ammunitions box for the game. It's pretty average, it's basically C tier. It's not bad, it's not good. If the time to deploy, or not the time to deploy, but the amount of times you can get it per game is still the same, around like 3 times, I would say, at most, if you don't have Gearhead, which is a bit better than the other options. But still, they should make this one probably the fastest one, since there's not really like a huge benefit to getting this, because if you have Scavenger, you're going to be able to resupply yourself regardless. Or if you have Quarters Masters, if you don't care about munitions for your weapons and you just care about throwing out them lethals and tacticals like a cunt, but regardless, it'll help out with that. But if you're taking all recon perks, you can definitely take this, since you're not going to be running that. And yeah, it's just not really a bad item to take either, since you're going to be resupplying your teammates and you're going to be getting points for doing that as well. Now, I believe that's all I really got to say for this one. Not really, there's not really too much to say for the assault pack, just because not only is it the first one unlocked, but it's also the most basic out of all of them. Now, some people might not like the placement of this one, but it's in the top 5 regardless, and all of these are extremely useful. And this one at number 5 is the Acoustic Amp. This one lets you hear footsteps louder, so you're going to be able to hear the people running ninja. At least you should be able to. And yeah, not gonna lie, my dudes, if you're playing S&D, this is gonna be insanely broken, and it's most likely going to be a must pick in most situations, because the footsteps are just insanely loud. Like, dog, I could hear someone, like, I thought they were right next to me, and they were actually behind the bus. I was like, holy crap, bro. It's just so loud, like, and you know directly where they're coming from, so you're able to just sound hoard them. And yeah, it's just pretty good. I wouldn't say it's bad whatsoever, and it seems to last almost a whole minute, which is just insane. And yeah, lasting a whole minute, amplified sound, just broken in search and destroy, because the rounds, I'm pretty sure they're only like 4 minutes or so, so you're just gonna have a fourth of that match with loud footsteps. You're gonna know where the enemy's coming from, and you're just gonna be able to catch them off guard if they're not running it as well, of course. Now at number 4 we got the Scrambler. This basically messes up some enemy lethals, tacticals, and some field equipment as well. This is just pretty useful if you don't want to run ghosts. You can just be setting this up, because if once they get inside that radius, it'll scramble their minimap, and even if they don't come near you, if you stay within the Scrambler radius, you're still not going to be shown on the minimap, so you won't even have to run a suppressor either. And you're also able to mess up their trophy systems or the spring mines that they have out. Also know that if you're running Gearhead and you hack one of those spring mines or trophy systems that were in your Scrambler radius, it is not going to get unscrambled. It's a pretty big issue right now, so just be careful when you guys put down a Scrambler, because you might not be able to disable, or not disable, my fault, not be able to actually use those things that you hacked to be yours, which is kind of dumb in my opinion. The other dumb part is that once you hack the equipment, there's still that input that says hold this to destroy the equipment. Like, bro, I just hacked it, don't give me the input. And it gives it to the teammates as well, so they might not know that it's hacked and it's yours now, but you know, sometimes they want those points, or they want to destroy it so they could get towards the launcher, but I don't know if they can actually destroy it by shooting at it. So yeah, my dudes, pretty dumb. Hopefully they take that out, because it's not really that useful, and that they also fix the Scrambler issue where if you hack the equipment, it's all going to be scrambled. That's just really dumb too. And that's why I put that one at number 4, because it messes up with a perk, a pretty important one too, in my opinion. Now at number 3 we got the Tactical Insertion. Now some of you may be surprised if you guys haven't used the Tactical Insertion in this COD, but ever since 2019 there's been a delay for you if you use the Tactical Insertion, which just made it pretty dog water, since 5 to 7 seconds sometimes it would just be completely useless, and you actually just need to go in there right at the moment so you're able to catch the people off guard. But some people could just be camping your Tactical Insertion since they notice it right there, and it just takes you, or it feels like it takes you, a millennia to just spawn in through there. So yeah, that's what made it really dog water. But in this one, it doesn't have that delay, so you're going to immediately spawn in there. And they also give you an input to see if you want to cancel your Tactical Insertion, but for me it just shows 3 question marks, so I don't even know what I'm supposed to actually press in order for me to cancel the Tactical Insertion. But either ways, I wouldn't even want to cancel it, because you're able to put it in such useful places. Like, let's say you're trying to take a point, or you guys are trying to take a domination flag from them in order to flip spawns, you can just place it around the corner, and you're going to be able to go back to it in order to actually keep murking them, because sometimes it doesn't feel like their spawns want to change at all, but once one enemy murks one of your teammates, you're going to spawn the opposite side. You're just like, bro, what? So yeah, that's why the Tactical Insertion is pretty useful. You're going to be able to catch the enemies off guard instantly instead of just waiting, unless you guys want to wait on purpose. You guys trying to look at the kill cam, so you can catch them even more off guard if they don't know that your Tactical Insertion is there. Now my dudes, at number 2 we got the trophy system. The trophy system could definitely use a bit of a buff, and by a bit I mean a huge buff, because let's be honest, my dudes, 3 projectiles that's able to block is not really that many. Like in Cold War they were infinite, they were only allowed to be out 2 on the map for each team, and I feel like this one needs that. They need to be infinite here, because the lethal and tactical spam is still pretty insane, and it's still just as annoying. So I'd prefer that these were infinite instead of just blocking 3 projectiles, since they also take just an insane amount of time to actually get. Even with Gearhead, it doesn't really feel like you're getting them too fast. It is insanely useful. Nonetheless, it still needs a big buff, because you're only going to be able to protect yourself from the first wave of tacticals and lethals they throw your way. And if their whole team is spamming, then you'll only be able to block half of them before they spam the other tacticals or lethals that they have left. So yeah, this is definitely still though number 2 for sure out of all the field equipment in my opinion. Now for the number 1 spot, we got Warcry. This one is just insanely useful. Not only does it give it to you, but it also gives it to your teammates, and it shows how many will be affected if you pop it right at that moment. It gives you a movement speed boost and a health regen boost. So just insanely useful, since you're going to be giving out to yourself and to other teammates as well. So you'll be able to just capture points, be regenning. You guys just gotta hide for about a second or so, because you'll be full health by then and you're gonna be able to get right back into the action. I like pairing this up with Guardian, since I literally am full health by just hiding for not even a full second. I would say I just hide for a fifth of a second and I'll almost be full health by the next 2/5 of a second. Like, it's just insanely broken in my opinion. I don't feel like too many people use it. Now the only small problem I have with it is, let's say a teammate is running it and they use it, you actually won't really be able to tell. Maybe you'll be able to tell a bit by how fast you're moving. Other than that, there's like no symbol. You will hear a little sound effect, but that can be easily drowned out by all the gunshots in the game. So yeah, not really too useful for that. Hopefully they add some sort of symbol, and I kind of hope it gets a bit of a buff where it makes you immune to all tacticals like it did with Battle Rage. But that would just make it the most broken field equipment in the whole game. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people would be running it, which I wouldn't mind either. Anyways, my dudes, that was my rankings for all the field equipment in the game. Let me know whether you guys believe the rankings should have been different, what you guys agree on, what you guys disagree with me. Let me know down in the comments. And before I let you guys go, I just want to say that all of the field equipments need to be buffed in how many times you can get them per match, because it takes way too long to get them if you're not running Gearhead. And even then, it feels like as if Gearhead got nerfed a bit and you're not able to get them as fast as you were able to. But that could just be me in my own head, just overthinking about that. But yeah, it's just insane that all of these field equipments take way too long, where some of them shouldn't even take nearly as long. Like the trophy system should be one of the fastest ones in the game. Assault pack as well. Tactical insertion, I wouldn't mind that one being medium, since this one's actually the good version of it. But anyways, my dudes, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video by leaving a like. If you guys are enjoying the content, please subscribe. With that being said, have a good day and stay safe. Later.